Hey, welcome back to the Progressive Brothers podcast. This is episode 8. Please hit the like button as you come in, share the video if possible, and let's rock and roll. I always hear people who claim to be conservative about not taking a side, being independent, saying you can't trust anybody who takes a side ultimately, but they espouse all of the conservative talking points and the Republican talking points, but they never say which side they're on. And so you hear this sort of rhetoric being projected out into the ether. And I say, well, if you're not going to take a side, somebody's going to choose it for you. And so let's listen to a black conservative make this point. So this is the position that they take. Black conservatism is nothing more than classic liberalism. But if you let them tell the story, they make it seem like it's something very unique, and it's really not. And so Marjorie Taylor Greene and a Arizona rep started something called the Anglo-Saxon Party. And the term Anglo-Saxon does not refer to black conservatives or black people for that matter, or black males for that matter. And so they already chosen a side, openly chose a side by their branding. Where does that leave you as a black conservative, as a black male conservative? What place do you have within the movement now? Tim Scott stood up there and said he gets pulled over by police just like every other black male does, but says that there's no racism. Who in that party is really backing him up? We don't really see anybody backing him up. He's on his side. People aren't backing him up who don't look like him within the party, and people who look like him within the party are also not backing him up. Where's Condoleezza Rice? Where's Michael Steele? Where's Colin Powell? Where's Alan West? Where are all these so-called black conservatives at within their group, within their demographics, within their party itself? Nobody really knows. So if you're not willing to take a side, they will choose a side for you. The Anglo-Saxon Party is forcing you as a black male conservative to take a side. You say you don't like the progressives, you don't like the left, you don't like liberals, you don't like any of these sort of attributes of non-conservatism, but the people who claim to be conservative who don't look like you also are not rocking with you either. So which side are you going to be on? At the end of the day, they will choose a side for you if you don't choose a side for yourself. We've already chosen our side. We already have intangibles on our side through policy. You don't want to talk about policy. You want to talk about traditional families and fiscal conservatism, which I always find interesting because Mississippi, Arkansas, West Virginia, how do you square the circle about their fiscal conservatism? Poor running water, lack of infrastructure, no high-speed internet, no lack of modernization of airports, getting D- scores on their infrastructure report cards that we've seen for 2021. All of these are conservative states. You're a black conservative. Which side are you on now? You have to take up the mantle and also stand in the line of fire when it comes to dealing with all of these sort of issues. But when you're not willing to take a side, no one really knows where you stand. But people within your demographics, in your party, a part of your movement, are openly forcing you to take a side by branding their party the Anglo-Saxon Party. I'm glad I'm not a part of that movement. I don't have to adhere to those type of things. I don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about that on the progressive side. We've already chosen our side. We already have tangibles on our side. Look at the infrastructure bill and look at any of the policies that have come down the last 10 years. Very substantial policies that have aided and advanced the conversation from where it was before. We can't say that about the Black conservatives who don't want to take a side but want to be a part of the conversation all the time. That's all I got. Like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on Twitter @brothers_podcast.